Sometimes, when I'm at a McDonald's, I wait until nobody's looking, and then I stick my hand inside the straw dispenser and touch all the straws.
Good afternoon. Hi there, Ellie. Hi, Silk. Legacy of Kane, more like Legacy of Gay. Got him. Yeah, no, the sexual tension in this game is pretty high, but it gets really high in Defiance. So let's hop right in. I think last time, yeah, I didn't open up what's his face's fortress yet, but I can do that now. And we can try and jump back into his Mobius's time streaming chamber. If you think about it, you're kind of all in a streaming chamber with me. I can't see the game. Why am I doing this? Why do I keep doing this? There we go. I opened the door and yeah, that's all. I need to get like a Stream Deck that I can press a button to switch things over, because I click through sometimes and it doesn't work properly. I'm gonna take this opportunity to open a preview window on my screen so I can see what you guys can see, and that way I will know what's going on. There we go. Super Mario fart porn.
Sexy boy.
Jesus. Thank you for following. I don't know whether your unique interests will be catered to exactly. Yeah, we'll try. But yes, thank you for following.
Fate promises more gay before this drama unfolds completely.
Exactly. Merle's about Sonic, not Mario. Do you think Sonic ever farts? What do you like? I imagine there's more Sonic content out there than Mario. Look at these guys just chasing me. Oh, I can't get through that door. Ow. I love how much the place like warps and shifts in the shadow world. I imagine there's more Sonic pornography for every fetish you can imagine, and more. Anyway, Raziel has detected his boyfriend might be about.
Show yourself, Cain.
Here, Raziel. Everything is decided here. You cannot comprehend the magnitude, the rapture and the tragedy of this moment. And yet you must, if Nosgoth is to be dragged from the wreckage of its damnation.
I understand only this, Cain. That you and Mobius have impelled me to this moment simply means I can trust neither of you. I don't know who's pulling the strings, but it no longer matters, because I'm cutting them. I set my own course from here.
If it were only that simple.
Your fatalism is tiresome, Cain.
And profoundly ingrained, Raziel.
I love them just chewing the scenery like this.
Presence here doesn't alter history. You and I meet here because we are compelled to. We have always met here. History is irredeemable. Drop a stone into a rushing river. The current simply courses around it and flows on as if the obstruction were never there. You and I are pebbles, Raziel, and have even less hope of disrupting the time stream. The continuum of history is simply too strong, too resilient. Except, then how do we explain William here? The beloved boy king turned tyrant. In my youth, I witnessed William's rise to power and his transformation into the Nemesis, who laid waste to Nosgoth.
The Nemesis.
Your distance came. Years later, I stumble upon a chance to journey back in history, unaware that the entire affair has been carefully orchestrated by Mobius. In my wisdom, I seize this opportunity to murder the young king before he can ravage Nosgoth, and thereby provide the catalyst Mobius needs to ignite a genocidal war against our race. I warn you, no further. This one reckless act unravels the skein of history. The Nemesis never becomes the Nemesis. William dies a martyred saint. I, the vampire assassin, become the author of my own species' extinction, and Mobius profits from it all. I destroyed a tyrant only to create one far worse. But how can it be so? How, if history is immutable? The answer is here in this room, Raziel. Mobius propelled William and me together, but ensured first that we were both armed with the Soul Reaver. The Reaver is the key. Two incarnations of the blade meet in time and space. A paradox is created, a temporal distortion powerful enough to derail history.
Is this your sorcery?
Not mine, Raziel. Yours. You have nothing to fear from me, Raziel. You hold all the cards.
Penetrate me, Raziel.
Then perhaps I should test your sincerity. If what you say is true, you should be terrified. I could kill you here and now.
And so you do, Raziel.
What's happening?
We're hurtling towards our destinies, Raziel. What you feel is the pull of history rushing to meet us. This is where history and destiny collide. If you truly believe in free will, Raziel, now is the time to prove it. Kill me now, and we both become pawns of history, dragged down the path of an artificial destiny.
How long are these cutscenes? Very long.
Guardian in Nosgoth, while you were destined to be its savior. But the map of my fate was redrawn by Mobius, and so in turn was yours.
This is madness.
When we do get back to gameplay, we won't get a lot of story for a while, so savor it.
It can become a prelude. I can't. You can, Raziel. Look inside and see that it is so. You have the power to reshape our inevitable futures. Poor William.
What is this?
History abhors a paradox, Raziel. Even now, the time stream strains to divert itself, finding its old course blocked by your refusal to destroy me. The future is reshuffling itself to accommodate your monumental decision.
It's not.
This is where we restore ourselves, Raziel, and reclaim our intended destinies. It may yet be possible.
You do not
to assume
penetrate
my
me,
role as
Raziel.
guardian and return
I
the pillars to
penetrate
their
you.
rightful inheritors.
To the vampires. And this is the destiny you have urged me to discover. I don't know what game you and Mobius are playing, Kane, but I refuse to be your pawn. Unlike you, I still revere whatever shred of humanity I've managed to preserve. You will not use me as the instrument of your messianic delusions.
Delusions.
Very well, Raziel. I'll not ask you to trust me. Your truths are for you to discover alone.
Humble words for one who presumes to teach me a lesson at every turn.
Then continue your journey and learn your own lessons, Raziel. Remember, Mobius led you here, but you walk away unfettered. A champion of free will and conqueror of false histories. There is much more for you to unearth. If you have the heart for the truth,
Kane's cheekbones.
to see it.
It's got bone structure, you know? Yeah, no, I really like that cutscene. I love the way, Kane shows like a moment of vulnerability to Raziel. Being like, yeah, you're supposed to kill me here. This is where I die. But Raziel doesn't do it. He doesn't penetrate Kane. It's not really clear to me why this is a paradox. Because I don't know what Raziel's refusal to kill Kane here, like what it contradicts. I don't think we've seen anything in the series canon so far that like is contradicted by this. We're both time travelers at the moment. We have to our journeys have to end somewhere, but why did they have to end exactly here? It's not quite clear to me. But I do believe that what Kane said about history is trying to rearrange itself around the fact that Raziel hasn't done what he's supposed to do. You know what, I'm just gonna walk past these people. I think this is the correct way to go. Yeah, we were here once before. Chasing me. Yeah, that's a good sign. It means we might be on the right path. Whoops. I really like, the way, I don't know, Kane does look like really monstrous compared to all the other vampires that we've seen. Well, I mean, the vampires in Soul Reaver 1, I guess, are much more monstrous. Yeah, I do love his big cheekbones.
Seize him!
There shall be no seizing on this day. Why do you reckon they made these doors so big? No, I don't think I will. I have places to be.
I like that look on your face, Mobius. You really don't know what to do now, do you, old man? Here you are, caught without your damn staff. I suspect things aren't progressing quite as you'd hoped. You're not used to the fly turning to confront you in your web, are you?
Kane's devious influence has poisoned your mind, Raziel. Now
Raziel.
you see betrayal everywhere, even in your closest allies.
We were never allies, Mobius. Conspirators, perhaps. Briefly.
Why did you not kill Kane when you had the chance? He was at your mercy.
Precisely. I had a choice, and I chose mercy. And now I know your sordid little secret. The significance of that displacement I felt when the two Reavers came together. Strangely enough, I was enlightened by the devious Cain, not by you. In fact, I've learned much more than you counted on. I understand now how you've tried to manipulate all of history for your own personal gain. But now all your little schemes are whirling in ruin around you, aren't they? All because I chose to exert my will for once.
My
rather than
will.
obey the demands of sorcerers and spirits and demons, all singing the same tiresome refrain: kill Cain. I'm setting my own path from here, Mobius. I intend to discover the truth behind all of this.
But you condemn us all with this impetuous act.
Hardly impetuous. It took all the will I could muster. Has my refusal to kill Cain reshuffled your carefully stacked
Mobius looks so sad. He should
You
be.
really think that you're exercising your free will, Raziel? You're simply Cain's servant.
I do not serve Cain.
Not yet,
I do
anyway.
not kill him.
Raziel, do not forget your purpose here. You are destined to be the savior of Nosgoth.
Oh, I'm sick of hearing that particular phrase. As for saving Nosgoth, so far I see precious little reason to bother. And I'll choose my own purpose from here on out, Time Streamer. Right now, I choose to manipulate you for a change. Go. In there.
What are you doing?
Come now, Mobius. You're a cunning serpent. You'll piece it together, I imagine.
Ooh, that's an interesting question, Crummy Lion.
This error is of no further use to me. You will operate this device to provide me passage. I want to see the world in a simpler time, before the Sarafan began their crusade.
And what about Cain? You're leaving your core behind.
You kill him if it's so damned important.
You need only touch the two poles of the switch, and the device will transport you. But I urge you to reconsider.
You've lost your powers of persuasion, old man. Rot here and forget me.
This is crazy of him to just trust that Mobius has configured the time streaming device the way he needs it to be.
Even as I emerged from that infernal time-streaming chamber, I suspected treachery. The stronghold was vacant, derelict, abandoned.
There we go. Wait, that's the way I came. I want to leave. Through the door. Typically challenging combat. Do you remember what I said last stream of this, where it's like, you know, there's this mechanic where you can like let the Reaver like eat your soul more to do more damage. There's just never a reason not to do it, you know. Like even if I do get sent into spirit form, I can just restore my body again. Like, I'm probably going to need to go to the spirit world in a second. Because I am running out of health. But yeah, no, do I think Legacy of Kain can be made today? Well, they kind of tried recently, right? Oh. Oopsie poopsie. Oh, I have to go back quite far, I think. They released like a new Legacy of Kain game called Ascendance, which has been sort of universally panned, both for the gameplay being bad, which I think a lot of people would probably forgive if the story was good, but the story's bad as well, in that it's largely just like a sort of, I don't know, it just introduces this new character who turns out is the specialist, most important vampire who ever lived, and is more important than Kain and Raziel. And I think a lot of players who, you know, like the series because of Kain and Raziel probably don't really care about, you know, someone's new, like, vampire OC. They want to see Kain and Raziel, you know, in a dilemma about whether to fuck, marry, kill each other. In that order. Watching Merle stream during my morning bath. Oh, I hope you're enjoying it, Shin Ultra Queer. Watching a stream in the bath, how decadent. I'd be worried I'd like knock my phone or something into the water, because I'm a clumsy moron like that. If you have access to it, by the way, after you get out the warm water, have like an iced or like chilled cafe latte. I think it's like a really nice way to get out to cool down after a warm bath.
This grotesque tableau certainly eliminated them. For here was Mobius, long since murdered by Kain, lionized and beatified as the martyred leader of his bloodthirsty crusade. And if I required further evidence, I needed only to behold the gruesome trophy Mobius held aloft. A severed head of Vorador. The final triumphant kill of Mobius's cutthroat mob. His execution marked the annihilation of the vampires. Far from channeling me into Nosgoth's past, Mobius had propelled me over a century into its ghastly future. The intent behind this little detour was unmistakable. Having failed to make me his obedient assassin, Mobius intended to keep me ignorant of my true destiny, which clearly lay in Nosgoth's past. While his deception only reinforced my purpose, Mobius had effectively stranded me here. This left me no course but to explore the era I now occupied and see what changes the century had wrought following Kain's ill-fated decision. Perhaps time had cleared a path for me into the mountains, where I might unearth more clues behind the mystery of Janos Audron.
So speaking of gameplay, why does the combat look so dull? Because it is. Soul Reaver 1 combat was kind of, you know, very... Oh, I think they've got me here. Soul Reaver 1 combat is very, very dull. Soul Reaver 2 combat is a little better, but they expect you to do a lot more of it. But it's not necessarily, like, more interesting. Like, it's a little better than the first game. I'm just gonna go into soul form and reset. Oh yeah, I forgot, the demons can fucking follow you into the spirit realm. Where's a point? Oh, back there. they can just shift back into this realm. Isn't that cool? They like that. That's something I think is really fun that the game doesn't do enough with. You try and escape into the spirit realm only to be followed by the demons. But yeah.
Raziel. What pathetic charade is this now, Mobius?
No charade, Raziel. Only the entreaties of this martyred spirit.
Oh, cry me a river.
Your pleas mean nothing to me after all your deceit. You have propelled me into Nosgoth's future, Mobius, and left me stranded here.
I am truly sorry, Raziel, but it was necessary. Consider it the last valiant act of a doomed man. You have strayed from your purpose, and now behold the result. Gaze upon the wasteland you and Cain authored together.
I fail to see how I'm responsible.
You spared Cain, and by doing so, you have released a multitude of horrors upon this world. I can accept that Cain has murdered me, Raziel.
I can deal with the murder.
I foresaw that incident long before it occurred, and I take some small comfort in the fact that Cain remains the sole survivor of his vile breed. But you have single-handedly made my sacrifice meaningless.
Your argument is disingenuous, Time Streamer. I cannot see how killing or sparing Cain's future self would alter these events.
Yeah, me too.
This wasteland was created by Cain's original refusal at the Pillars. And amidst all these twists and turns, that event has never changed. You are cunning, Mobius. But I think you've gotten tangled in your own web.
As Cain clings to his precious seat of power, the pillars sink into a mire of decay, dragging all of Nosgoth down with them.
I don't think this has anything to do with the Pillars, or Cain's failure to sacrifice himself. I think you're simply afraid, because you don't know what he's up to. He's a wild card, isn't he? And you don't want his influence in your game. Which is why you wanted me to eliminate him. Well, now that he survived, you have no idea what's coming, do you?
No idea.
For the first time in your entire life, you're terrified that he may have truly found a third option out of the dilemma you orchestrated for him.
Cain's lies have addled your mind. Leave this place and trouble my spirit no more.
If you even are a spirit, you've forgotten. I have a way to tell for sure. If you're willing to risk it. Either way, you lose.
Yeah, rage baiting Grandpa. Absolutely spiked his cortisol. Speaking of cortisol spikes. Yeah, no, it is kind of like, you know, it's a good point that Raziel makes that, you know, Mobius the Time Streamer is, you know, he assumed that, like, he could, I don't know, like, emotionally blackmail me into having killed Cain, but, you know, the state Nosgoth is in is not as a result of Cain, his future self, having been alive, so killing him wouldn't have changed any of that. But it does beg the question as to why me refusing to kill Cain was a paradox at all. If that, you know, the Earth, you know, the whole, like, world seemed to quake in response to me not killing Cain, but why? Natalia Kurakova. Hello there, boy in a dress. Oh, hi there. Hi there, Vlad Kurakov. Welcome to the stream. You'll simply put a boy in a dress. When a straight boy puts on a dress to get kicks, he is a femboy. When the boy is a girl trapped in a boy's body as a little operation, he is a transsexual. Thank you very much for the explanation. I don't know what I am. I'm just a little gender goober. And I'm lost in a big river at the moment, in a big lake. Where do I go? When a gay boy has too much fashion sense for one gender, he is a drag queen. And when tired, little American boy puts on a... Well, I'm not American. I'm British, innit? So what am I? Where do I fit into this paradigm? I'm lost. I don't know where to go. Femboys don't have to be straight, and they shouldn't be. Agreed. I mean, they can be whatever they want, but, you know, me personally. I am British. For my sins, I am British. When I was incarnated into this world from the demon realm and given flesh, I was manifested onto this accursed isle. These British Isles. What am I fighting these guys for? They haven't done anything to me. It was not by my hand that I was given British flesh. But yeah, I just like wearing a skirt because it looks cute, you know? I used to wear a unfollowed, unsubscribed, blocked, sent 200 scorpions. Oh shit. I think this isn't the correct way to go. When I was in secondary school, I used to wear a skirt to school. And I think a lot of people at the time asked me why I did it, and I don't really have an answer for them because I was like, well, I don't know. I like to. And looking back, it was a pretty crazy thing to do because, you know. The game knows that you shouldn't progress too fast through here, so it spawns in these guys every now and then to stop you, try and slow you down. Right, back to the pillars.
These were the pillars so familiar to my blighted eyes. But now that I had begun to learn their true significance, I regarded the pillars' destruction with a new, enlightened sense of horror. And I questioned now whether Cain's simple refusal, his mere ambition, could truly have caused such devastation. I felt that some darker influence was at work here. As I approached,
I wondered whether Cain was really all that bad.
Bound here now for more than a century.
Forever am I bound, hope abandoned, my spirit tethered to this place. What destroyed the circle could not touch me, for I was newly dead and beyond harm's reach. I alone was spared the descent into madness, and Cain alone was spared the pain of death. When Napraptor's poison seized Cain even in the safety of the womb, much more than just his destiny was lost. All of Nosgoth, lost balance. Consider us now, both of us less than we once were. I, pure but insubstantial, and Cain, terribly real, but corrupted.
Your imprisonment here has deranged you, Spirit. You fixate on Cain because you believe he is the tether that binds you here. But we both know he is not the author of your agony. The pillars were subverted by dark forces, invited by the guardians
Hi there,
themselves.
Meatomaton and Lavender.
The more I learn of your circle, the more I see a tangle of nested manipulations.
Cain handed them their victory. They sought to topple the pillars, and he was their willing instrument.
Or was he their unwilling pawn? Would it blunt your wrath to know that Cain's dilemma was calculated to bring the pillars down, regardless of the choice he made? And that the devastation would have been even greater had he chosen the path you would prescribe for him?
You are a subtle, deceitful creature.
Oh, just call me a
Clever
slur.
arguments do not absolve Cain. He must die for the pillars to be restored. There is no other way.
Then consider this more ominous possibility. What if Cain's death does not restore the pillars? Consider that it may simply be too late, that this world may be beyond redemption, and that you may be bound here eternally.
Cortisol spiked. Rage baiting the ghost.
Why do you hound me, demon? You can see that I am captive here. Show me some mercy.
Like the mercy you showed your fellow guardians when you set Cain on them, or the mercy you showed Cain when you kept him ignorant of his destiny while you used him as the scourge of the circle, or perhaps like the mercy you showed your beloved Naprapta when you made him Cain's first kill.
You are cruel. Why do you torment me?
I'm merely looking for answers, Ariel. Ah, very well. I'll leave you in peace.
I mean, it's a good point,
But know
Raziel.
this,
Why are you,
this purgatory
rage baiting her?
is no escape. You're merely at the threshold.
She can't do anything about anything. Leave her alone. No, I can't remember whether they've... Oh yeah, demon. Hey! Hey! Why do you reave my soul? Cain, what will your legacy be? Yeah, I mean, Raziel does just sort of, like, in this game, walk around having conversations with anyone who'll listen, and if there's no one around, he talks to himself. Yeah, can you tell that the combat is designed just to slow you down now? Because they literally spawn in these like barriers that you can't cross through. Chin Ultra Crew. I only risk watching YouTube, Twitch, and the tub because I've got a waterproof case. Ooh, clever. My boy just needs to yap. Have I come the correct way? I don't know that. Oh yeah, this is the right way. I like the way you have to like slot the Soul Reaver into like the figure on the door. You have to like slot it right in the bussy. Maybe a little lower. grab an iced coffee, but I'll put the recommend in my back pocket. Yeah, when I used to when I lived in Japan and like I would go to onsen or like sento, like baths and stuff. Getting an iced coffee after a hot bath is so good. The Dussie. That was fun. Gliding down the stairs. See what the Elder God has to say for himself.
Raziel, the failed assassin. You had Cain at your mercy, but lacked the courage to fulfill the act. And now you see the wasteland wrought by the tyrant's hand, by his selfish decision to preserve his own life, even when it meant sacrificing the whole world. This is the fate of Nosgoth, as long as Cain...
I mean, I already know what the fate of Nosgoth is. I come from Nosgoth's future.
Given this guilty scene, one would think you'd torn down the pillars single-handedly. What are you trying to obliterate as you drag your loathsome body through this chamber? And why, as Nosgoth descends into madness and misery, do you appear to thrive? Things in this world, I am learning, are rarely what they seem. You, apparently, are no exception.
I am the engine of life, the source of Nosgoth.
I am the engine of life.
I am the hub of the wheel, the origin of all life, the devourer of death.
Or maybe you're just hungry. Could it be as simple as that? Wouldn't that be poetic irony? The great adversary of the vampires turns out to be the biggest parasite of them all.
Do not test my patience, Raziel. I made you, and I will unmake you if I become so inclined.
As your agent, I am beyond death.
There are fates worse than death, Raziel.
Oh, I see you now as you truly are. A cancer. A spooling parasite burrowed deep in the heart of this world.
Go now. Play out your pitiful rebellion and take your place among the destroyed, the used, and the damned. But know this. You are mine for eternity. You have always been, and will always be, my soul Reaver.
The way he looks directly at the camera while the game title is... Oh, it was so good. You have been and always will be my Soul Reaver 2. Oh, that is so good. I forgot that happens. Yeah, the fucking stare. So, like... absolute cinema. Raziel, you truly are the legacy of Cain. Right?
You would be wise to heed me, Raziel.
I think I won't do that. Oh, yeah, the fucking stare directly into the camera. I refuse to let these people spike my cortisol. I am simply moving on. My face when I hear the Elder God's voice and get whiplash because I'm still at the Silence Cathedral in 1 and he's the narrator. Well, the Elder God is in the first one as well. He's the first voice that speaks to you. That's why he's the narrator of Soul Reaver 1, because he's the one that, supposedly he's the one that resurrected Raziel, and made him undying. Going the right way, I don't think. But, maybe not all is as it seems. Is that where I'm supposed to go? I always get lost in these sections. Yeah, this feels like the correct way. However... So yeah, someone mentioned earlier, is this game like a critique of the hero's journey? Not really. I mean, I also think that the hero's journey is like a very reductive way of approaching a lot of stories and media. It turns out if you try and flatten every story down onto a single narrative, then they all look kind of similar. But that doesn't mean that they necessarily are all similar. This game is more like, honestly, like, I don't want to speak for the creators, but it feels more like a meditation on, like, this idea of destiny, and I read it specifically in a queer sort of way, in that, like, the vampires are treated as this sort of unnatural perversion of the natural cycle of life and death. This thing that should not be, this thing that should not exist. I think I've got the wrong way. And yeah, I think there's a natural way to sort of like, that mirrors a lot of the rhetoric that gets used to demonize queer identities. You're unnatural. You're parasitic on heterosexual society. The only way, like a lot of like homophobes would say that the only way gay people can propagate ourselves is by somehow like recruiting people into our evil like cult, when the truth is that some people are just like, even if they wiped all of us out today, there'd be more of us born tomorrow. People just do be gay. But yeah, that sort of rhetoric of like seeing queerness as like this I don't know, like evil unnatural force, and then like meditating on I guess your destiny. Like, what is that? I've come back the fucking... Oh, I didn't mean to come back this way. Meditating on what it is you're supposed to do. Like, everyone around you would tell you to do something that, to do what really is in their best interests, not yours. And yeah, sort of like grappling with that and struggling with it. Right. Okay. This is the correct way to go. Sure of it. Yeah, it's this room. There's a way out of here that I'm missing. Or maybe not missing it. It's right there. I feel like going into this water here leads me right back to where I was. Yeah, I remember getting lost here for a long time last time I played. It feels like, you know, this is a bit of a dead end, but... Where am I supposed to go now? I'm not saying the hero's journey doesn't apply. I'm saying the one white dude decided that all stories are the same now. Yeah, like it. You know, I'm not like, you know, a literature like person. Like I don't. I'm an idiot. I don't really know anything about it. But every time I've heard people discuss the hero's journey or like the hero with 1,000 faces or whatever, I am just like, you know, to a man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Like, if you make an effort to try and flatten all of, you know, narrative structure down onto a single pattern, then yeah, it all follows that single pattern. Oh, I know where there's a basin to do that. It's in the main room. I'm gonna need to navigate back here again, somehow. Anyway, we've wasted plenty of time. Mel can't read. I can read, I simply choose not to. At times when it would convenience me to be stupid. I thought there was a basin in here that would let me switch the Soul Reaver to... There it is. Merle Bimbo arc. I mean, I maintain that I've always been stupid. The only reason I even have a PhD is because I'm too stubborn to know when to quit. I dig your read. I too find comfort in the queer subtext of stories. Yeah, you know, I think there's a really compelling queer read on Legacy of Kain. I think that's, you know, knowingly or not, what a lot of people liked about it. I think I shan't die now. He's got a PhD, pretty horns, and a dick. Plenty of hilarity. You know, you've got to make the D stand for something as well.
Here's one.
When people used to ask me what PhD means, I used to tell them it means pig has dreams. Because after working on one thing for like 5 years, you will both realize how utterly arrogant it is to think that you can meaningfully contribute to like pushing back the forefront of human knowledge. You know, pushing it outward further. But also how little you know about almost everything. Yeah, doing a PhD you realize, like, you know, the one thing you're the most interested in, you want to study, feels enormous, and it's like there's so much to know that you'll never know about it. And then you have this moment where you're like, oh shit, everything is like that. Literally every other field of knowledge is like that.
The passage of time had indeed cleared my way forward, enabling me to explore the northern mountains of Nosgoth. I was anxious to discover if some evidence of Janos Audrun's existence might still remain.
Deep combos to stumble in on. Exactly. I like to jump scare people with a bit of you know, a bit of like thoughtful commentary every now and then. Yeah, I mean, I guess like my point is that through studying for a PhD, I realized that I knew nothing about the thing that I was most interested in at the time, and there was so much to know, and that there were, like, you know, thousands of other topics like that I know nothing about, and must be similarly as wide. So yeah, you become enlightened in that, you know, the only true knowledge is the knowledge that you know nothing. Came for the toxic vampire yaoi, stayed for the critique of knowledge. Exactly. Hi there, sibling. Welcome to the stream. I'm running through brown caves. Yes, the Merle Sib has arrived. PhD, perfect human doll. Oh, that's what I wish I could be.
The nerve, the gall, the audacity, and the gumption.
My favourite Domjo has arrived as well. I've just realised, what is the chat doing all the way up there?
Here I discovered the quaint hamlet of Ustenheim, now long abandoned and collapsing into ruin. Legend claimed that Janos Audrun terrorized its villagers until the Sarafan hunters ferreted him out and destroyed him. If there was any truth to the old tales, the lair of the infamous vampire could not be far away.
Oh, yeah. Pepsi Dog moved it when we were playing Silent Hill. That's been like that the whole stream and I haven't noticed. Incredible. Well, I've placed you back where you belong now, everyone. Yeah, Raziel said that this place is like collapsing into ruin, but like, yeah, someone's still lighting all the lamps. I like the Ustentheim as well, other than the human citadel in Soul Reaver 1, which we never visited on my playthrough because I was just like beetling through the story, but it's like, yeah, one of the most habitable looking places in the entire game world. And he's like, ah, this place is a dump now. Just run past them all. But yes, thank you for resubscribing for 20 months, I think it said, Dom. That's immense. $20 months, that's almost... I mean, it's almost 2. And yeah, I mean, you know, subscriptions really do mean a lot to me.
This edifice was clearly not crafted by human architects. as the figure beneath the balcony silently attested, these were the Ares of winged beings. Undoubtedly, I stood before the mountain refuge of the legendary Janos Ordren, but the entire sanctuary lay in ruin, collapsed under the force of some ancient cataclysm. As I suspected, the time streamer's deception ensured that I was centuries too late to unearth anything of consequence here. With nothing behind me but the wasteland I had traversed, I resolved to press on and explore these canyons further. Oh no. Every time you turn up, something monumental and terrible happens.
Hey, here comes trouble.
For it.
No drama this time, Raziel.
You are persistent, crossing time like this to follow me. Still waiting for that coin of yours to land on its edge.
I'm biding my time. I see that Mobius has played a little trick on you.
Yes. He clearly doesn't want me to meet this Janos Ordren.
Perhaps. Or maybe he merely hoped that it would harden your heart against me, to see this wasteland which I single-handedly authored.
My heart doesn't need hardening, Cain. If I even suspected that destroying you would make any difference, I would do it this instant.
I knew you'd see through them, Raziel. Janos is indeed the key to your destiny.
We know what's hardening.
Nosgoth's past. Make no mistake though, Raziel. You and I are now in great danger. We are irritants here. Malevolent forces are being marshaled to eliminate us.
You talk as though we're allies.
Regardless of your sentiments, Raziel, in their eyes, we are.
Well, they're certainly trying to eliminate you, Cain. There can be no doubt of that. I am assaulted relentlessly with demands for your demise. Whatever it is that you're plotting, they're scared to death of you. As for me, I suspect they made a grave error when they allowed my unique resurrection. I don't think they know how to destroy me.
You mustn't underestimate them, Raziel.
And who exactly is this diabolical they to which we keep referring? If there's some grand conspiracy going on, the right hand doesn't appear to know what the left is doing. Even Mobius seems to be caught out at every turn.
Mobius is a puppet, Raziel. Haven't you realized that yet? That's the sweetest irony in all of this. Nosgoth's great manipulator is their plaything. But the ones pulling the strings haven't shown their faces yet.
They don't like us unwriting their carefully choreographed history, though, do they?
You must understand, Raziel, we haven't unwritten history, we've merely rewritten it. The future flows around our petty actions, finding the path of least resistance, while admitting only the slightest alterations. This is the reshuffling you felt when you refused to kill me. And remember, Raziel, we are irritants in this regard as well. History will not allow the introduction of a paradox.
And if events cannot be reshuffled to accommodate the change?
It is the irritant who's expelled. Bear in mind that this may be exactly the outcome our enemies are trying to provoke. We must tread very carefully.
Okay. Diabolical they. I think I'm going to end up going to the spirit realm soon. Running out of... In fact, yeah, probably best just reset. Don't forget you can subscribe. Yes, you can indeed subscribe to me for $4.99. Not on this website, I don't think. Maybe you can. I don't know what the price of Twitch subs is. But yeah, no, subs do mean a lot to me at the moment. You know, obviously, negotiating losing my job. I had a very fun conversation at work today about that. Where I was asked what my whether I want to have any input onto the consultation process that we are currently undergoing. And I asked, is there any point me having any input if I can't actually change the outcome? Like, what's the point in asking me my opinion? I mean, you know, my input is I don't want to lose my job. How do I restore to human form? I may have made a bit of a mistake here. I can't find a way to restore my body. Twitch subs are $4.99. So I don't know what website you're on about. Well, let's keep it that way. Oh, I'm stuck. I think I may have made a boo-boo. I shouldn't have come here. Spirit realm, because I can't restore my body. Don't know where a restore point is. I hope there's one up here. Yay, there is. Good stuff, right. Gives me my health back. Wait, I thought that was where I had to go. What's the weather like? It's the... Oh, I'm jealous that it's thundering where you are. It's quite sort of just grey here. I wish it was thundering. I love a bit of thunder. The decorum of office politics is disgusting. As a blue-collar worker, I get fed up with my peers' crassness. I take that a millionfold. Yeah, I mean, like, it was a very funny conversation we had where... I think I mentioned it last week. My line manager was on a call and said, you know, oh, I feel like such a sense of survivor's guilt about all this. You know, I'm having to tell all these people, like, I'm having to tell so many people they've lost their jobs, and I feel really, really bad about it. And I was like, well, you know, could be worse. You could actually be losing your job. Like, oh, a big thunderstorm. I'd love one of those. Some people can't read a room. Yeah, it is just so. Yeah, it was so. It you know, I had to laugh. Like I you know, thinking about it now, I'm like mortified. But at the time, I was just like, I just thought it was just so funny. Oh yeah, there's one of those. You thought the song "I'm Lonely, I Have No Body" was about not having a body? Being a ghost. Oh, fuck it. I need to focus. I need to focus, otherwise I'll just do that again. Right, focus, 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 focus. Go and get the Shadow Reaver. Thank you. Thank you again. There we go. Yeah, office manager's like, we're going to throw you off a boat, but politely. I mean, sometimes they're not even that polite about it. Like, sometimes they get a bit bent out of shape about you, like, calling into question their, like, management decisions. At least you get to have a smug finale. Head high, Merle. I know another place will benefit immensely. Well, yeah, I've applied to some other jobs. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. I'm looking forward to just taking a break, though, honestly.
The scenes I discovered here were unambiguous. This race of winged beings, the architects of the pillars and the creators of the Reaver, were Nosgoth's first vampires. Their bloodthirst appeared to be a curse, inflicted upon them by their vanquished enemies. These images confirmed the truths that Cain had divulged to me, but I had been too incredulous to accept. I struggled in vain to see how the pieces fit together, how Cain intended to escape the dilemma of his destiny, and what role he had plotted for me, and why Mobius and the dark powers with which he seemed to be allied were so desperate to see Cain dead, and so intent on me being the instrument of his execution.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next chapter as well. Well, also, yeah, like I said, just looking forward to a bit of a break. Just chilling out a little bit. I need a light read. I know when I was last made redundant, it was a shitty feeling. Yeah, I mean, I think I was insulated a little bit from it because I've known for some time that the company I work for has been really struggling. And they've just been, well, struggling because of, like, management incompetence. So I didn't take it too hard as, like, a personal thing. Yeah, it's natural to feel a bit upset about that kind of thing. It's like, you know, feel a bit sort of, oh my god. I feel a little bit upset. But, you know, I haven't really enjoyed working where I'm working for some time now, so, yeah, seem like a really awful company. I know you can find better. The Glassdoor reviews for where I work are fucking hysterical. I swear to God, like, you know, swear down, they are amazing. Like, it's just full of, like, disgruntled employees saying, like, yeah, the management don't know what they're fucking doing. CEO's got his head on a fucking wobble. It's so good. I'll have to link some of you to the Glassdoor for that company, because it's amazing. Now I need to be careful here because I managed to get myself out of bounds last time I played this. Here. Like, I swear, I don't try to find out-of-bounds glitches in games, but I have a talent for it, and I will prove this to you now. Right, where's the first time I made it happen? That's, yeah. Yeah, this is in the first game. Okay, I did try to make this one happen a little, because I noticed, like, ooh, what's that? let's just go under here and... Oh! We appear to be in the void. And there's the level. Like, I just have a talent for this. If any of you ever need, like, a bug hunter for your games, or a bug tester, you know, my services are very reasonably priced. And I'm pretty good at it. Yeah, so that was really fun. And then, yeah, another time when I was playing... Where are we? Yeah, this area. And whoops, there we go. And we're gone. Now, I'm not trying to move. The game was just moving me against my will. So I'm trying to navigate myself back into the level geometry, but I just couldn't seem to get a purchase. Yeah. That was fun. Just glitching myself out of bounds. And then, whilst I was playing Defiance... No, this isn't the one. Yeah, this is the clip. This is, you know, a glimpse of what's to come in the future. You know, I'm being a cat boy, just wrecking the gaff. Oh. Bye-bye. Thank you for turning me into a cat as well, while I said that. Yeah, I don't try to find these kind of glitches in games, but I just have a talent for it. Oh, I'm going the wrong way.
Out of bounds, out of reach.
Exactly. So Merle, do you think the femboy representation in Marriage Toxin will improve awareness? You know, I think this is like the wokest season of anime we've had for a long time. We've got Marriage Toxin, we've got Gambare Nakamura-kun. I've seen there's a bunch of like Yuri series airing as well at the same time. You know, woke is back, baby. But yeah, I think Marriage Toxin, from what I've seen, I want to watch it. I've read a little bit of it, and I think it's really cool. And I want to see how they. You know, I'm not crazy about. I think the voice actress they've got for May is really, really good. She's a really good voice actress, and I really love her voice. But it's also not quite how I imagined May. But you know, that's fine. Like, I don't think it's like a terrible criticism. Yeah, I do just like it when there's, you know, femboy characters who sound a bit more masculine, or androgynous. You know, me being one of them. But like, yeah, no, I think it's really positive. I do hope that the series sort of, you know, goes in a BL direction. I don't know how it ends or anything, or how it, you know, what the story is currently, because I'm not current with it. Yeah, it's something I've said on Twitter a couple times. Oh, thank you for the head pats. It's something I've said on Twitter a few times that, you know, for me, what I really enjoy and what really brings me, you know, a sense of gender sort of joy is having a mismatch between my gender and the way I present and the way I look. That's what sort of makes me feel good. That is what, you know, I think is core to my identity, that mismatch. And I like that, you know, there are characters that represent that to me, and represent that in media. Characters who look like girls or women, but assert a male identity. Characters who look, masculine, but assert a female identity. I think that there's a power in that, and I really like it. Not that I don't like it when a character is just, it is like a trans person. Obviously, I'm fine with that too. But I like that there's a variety and a range of different presentations and expressions in the media I consume. I like femboy characters, but I wish we didn't get the same discourse repeated about every single one. Yeah, it just becomes like people start fighting over like how this character does or ought to identify. And it's tiring, because I think what's powerful and interesting about these characters isn't, the specifics of their identity per se, but like what expressions and what experiences do they embody. Like, I really like Bridget from Guilty Gear. Do I share an exact like identity label with her? No, but I think what I relate to about her is other things than just the label that's placed on that. I'm heading to work now. I'll have some gaming. Well, I was mid flow. So, but yeah, thanks for swinging by. I hope you have a good shift at work, and yeah, we maybe play some Call of Duty later on if you want. I'd be up for that. Bye. Oh, I think I need to blind that eye. Light Reaver. What do I need the Light Reaver for, though? Oh, I remember what I need it for. I need it to shoot that. Yeah, what was I saying? How cool is this, by the way? I love that this thing just sort of bleeds. The first time I did this, I got the blue gem first, and I was worried that it was melting, so I was like running so like panicked. They're not melting, it's just a big juicy sweet. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I've been obviously frustrated by a lot of the discourse I see. Especially recently, it seems there's a lot of people on Twitter that are just like, I don't know, have just gone fully berserk. I think it tastes of peach. Yeah, it does have that sort of like, that sort of slightly pinkish shade to it, doesn't it? I mean, I made the terrible mistake of responding to a Halamede tweet earlier. Whee! That was fun. Yeah, I made the mistake of responding to a Halamede tweet earlier. But it is just like, it's frustrating to me that people seem to want to like gatekeep so many of these discussions and I don't know, like conversations about gender. based on like, you know, what specific identity labels you have, and like, you know, yeah, I do accept the point that, you know, there's some discussions that, you know, different, you know, there are for different audiences, more or less specific. Yeah, I mean, it was just my fault for thinking that. Oh, hang on, this isn't. Oh, this is the correct door. Huh. Yeah, she's the famous chaser. Although I remain unconvinced that she's actually like a cis woman chaser. But I also think that, like, you know, her attitude to trans people is like weirdly like more infantilizing and objectifying than even like a lot of chasers are. Like, I think she's weirdly like more toxic somehow. Not more damaging, I will say. I don't think she does any specific harm, but her attitude, were it to be widely adopted, I think is a lot more a lot more infantilizing. Health must be full. Why isn't my health full? There we go. Oh, hang on, I need to do this in the other order. I need... Oh, shit. There are cis women chasers who think they get to weigh in on trans discourse. Yeah, they do exist. I just wonder whether Palamede really is one. I mean, it's not, you know, not my monkeys, not my circus, ultimately. Can I have another soul, please? I think my health isn't full. Oh, it is. Good. Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't want to... Palamede is someone I feel fine name-dropping because I think she's ultimately kind of harmless. But I don't want to get into beef with anyone else by name-dropping. Right. Perfect. Right, now that's on a timer, so I need to now run across here. Grab the light Reaver. The bridge still there? It's still there. It's gonna fade away soon, I think. Almost certainly going to fade away before I have a chance to open this door. You love having beef with prominent Twitter dickheads. I really don't. I like few things less than that. Please don't vanish, bridge. Yay! I made it. Hi, Futo Demon. Long-time viewer, first-time chatter. Pepsi dog. Just got a quick question for you. How do you feel about the prospect of putting a cup of rice in a rice cooker when you have a spare 5 minutes? Thanks in advance. Yeah, I can go do that. I can go take a quick break. I'll probably bleed a few viewers while I do it, but I can definitely go and... I didn't pick up the gem! What am I thinking? God damn it. I just walked away from the gem. I didn't pick it up. How foolish of me. Ow. Son of a bitch. I thought it was a niche fetish thing. Oh, the bridge is still there. That's confusing. I thought these things timed out. Maybe not all the bridges do. I need to grab that gem. Yeah, I grabbed this one first and I thought it was melting. I think this one tastes like, oh, it tastes like those, those like fizzy bottles, those like fizzy bottle sweets that are like pink and blue. It tastes like one of them. So before I go and quickly run off to go put rice in the rice cooker, I want to make a quick note of how cute this this cutscene is. So in the last one, Raziel got like blown away by the gust of wind. This time he expects it. I don't know. I just thought that was really adorable. Right, I've done the red gem, I've done the blue gem. Time to go get green gem. Green gem. I think I need the light Reaver. I'll make sure I'm in front of the door first. And yes, I will be back presently. This would be a good time for you to refresh your browsers if you're still watching, just to let Twitch know you're still here. And we are back. I am back. Yeah, like I said, if you refresh your browser, help me a little bit, because it lets Twitch know you're still watching. I'm going to also send a ping in my... Sorry, I was in the wrong channel of my own Discord.
Venus.
Venus! Don't say that. There we go. Types out a very scuffed message. He just... Anyway, let's continue. Lucy's taking a little nap. Yes, he's a sleepy boy. Yeah, I think Halamede was being weird to me because I responded. So, you know, the conversation we had was that she said he's posted an article being like, you know, stop boying yourself. And it's addressed to people who, you know, are you know, trans feminine, but you know, are still calling themselves a boy or still presenting as a boy or something. And it's a really like, you know, it's basically like a, oh, stop, you know, doing what you want to do and do what I think you should do. It's just, you know, a bit weird, but whatever. And I responded to it playfully enough, being like, well, but I like being a boy. And she replied back to me with, I think what you like is defining yourself by your sexual availability to men. I was bowled over by that. I was just like, wow, what a gross and weird thing to say to someone you don't really know. Yeah, and you know, and I can see why that might be a tempting thing to assume about me. But you know, I don't know. I don't like to I don't really consider that definitional to my identity or who I am. You know, like I said earlier, I think what I think defines my identity is a mismatch between my gender as presented and my gender as I understand it and experience it. That's what I think is the core of me. But yeah, like, you know, to basically just like jump on top of, you know, I say jump on top of me. You know, I kind of asked for it by responding, I suppose. But yeah, to sort of respond to me by like, you know, oh, your identity is basically just about being a whore. It's like, fucking hell. Like, extremely like homophobic, but also like, isn't that just like what TERFs say to trans women in general? Like, it does seem that like there's so much discourse at the moment, which is just, people love TERF rhetoric so much that they cannot fucking wait to apply it to a quote-unquote deserving target. Well, I think it in some sense it's calling me HSTS because I think that's what, you know, the homosexual transsexual as someone who transitions in order to be more sexually appealing to men. Oh shit. What am I doing here? Wait a minute. Oh, I know what I need to do now. Right, gotcha. I was not focusing on the puzzle. Yeah, no, the whole Blanchard taxonomy is just cursed and what have you, but like, you know, yeah, it was just wild to me that, you know, I think Halamede is weird, but I think she is also quite a thoughtful and erudite writer. I don't agree with all her opinions, but I think she's a smart person. So to hear her just say something like that was just like, the fuck.
Boy?
Oh, thank you for following Meat Hat. Meat Hat 7029. Thank you very much for following. Maybe she's not smart. I mean, that's a possibility. That she's not actually very... she writes well, but she's kind of dumb. But yeah, I was just sort of like... I would not have expected to hear sort of such obvious transphobia coming from her. Maybe that's more fool me. I should have done. Mea culpa. We live and learn. I see what I know. Yeah, hanging on the edge of tomorrow. As I said, live and learn, I was thinking that to myself. Meat Hat. I don't know what's being said, I'm just making a dick joke. Thank you for throwing a monster at me. Ah, I do have monster actually in the fridge. I've been on a bit of an energy drink detox recently. Are you just checking through all my redeems now, everyone? What do we reckon this gem tastes like?
What a weirdo.
Raiden's opinion, I'm a cat. What a weirdo. But yeah, I don't know, like, I have felt recently on Twitter that I've wanted to make a little bit more space for people whose gender identity and expression is that they want there to be a mismatch. You know, they want there to be a confusion or I want people to clock me but to not know what time it is. You know. Oh, thank you very much for gifting a tier 1 subscription. That's very kind of you. In the words of George Lucas, when said, "Thank you for doing this." It wasn't based though, sadly enough. Yes, thank you for doing this. Meow. And what am I supposed to do here? Oh, I remember. What Reaver do I have at the moment? I have the light Reaver. That's a subtle puzzle, isn't it? You just have to know to shoot that up there. Catboy Steph. I picked up a copy of Legacy of Kain Blood Omen 2 from a movie store when I was 6 because the box art was awesome and cried for an hour when the disc didn't play. Well, I've heard Blood Omen 2 isn't very good. So, you may have been spared slightly, but... I'm very sorry that you didn't get what you wanted. Legacy of Kain Defiance is extremely good, and I recommend everyone play that. I'm going to play it as soon as we finish this game, but it's really good. I liked that a lot. If Soul Reaver 1 and 2 are like bad Legend of Zelda games, then Defiance is like a bad Devil May Cry game. But Devil May Cry is like a really good game, so it being a bad one of those is still like pretty good. Anyway, we've now obtained the power of wind. The power to pass wind whenever we want. Look at him sticking his Reaver in there. I bet that Mario guy is happy, yeah. The Mario fart porn guy.
As the Reaver drained the forge of its vital energy, the tempest receded. I recovered myself and paused to admire my newly forged weapon, now imbued with the elemental power of air.
You weren't here for the beginning of the stream, Rai.
I hope that I now finally possess the means to escape this wasted land.
Please do not elaborate. Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to. The less said, the better, I feel. You just need to know that that works.
This elemental Reaver I discovered had the power to obliterate barriers that were cracked or compromised. At last, I had the means to open that ruined time-streaming chamber I discovered so long ago in the swamp.
So long ago. About a week, in fact.
I could leave this wasteland and return to an era.
I will elaborate at a later date in private, I believe. I think would be most appropriate. Look at that hip sway. Yeah, no, like Raziel really knows like how to walk cunty when he wants to. The world's a catwalk.
There's one. Get it.
Yeah, but sorry if I'm a little bit somber suddenly, but yeah, talking about, sort of just being like insulted by Halamede has sort of brought my mood down a little bit, if I'm totally honest. It's such an out-of-pocket thing to say to someone, like, apropos of nothing. But like I said, I don't think that she has particularly good opinions of any transgender or trans feminine person. So why should I have expected special treatment in that regard? I like all these demons teleporting in to try and get me. I walk on by. You'll spike not my cortisol levels. He sure does reave those souls. 2. Oh man, I need to go and get the clip of Raziel responding to the name of the game being said for Rai, because that creased me. Right, I need to actually get rid of all these people, otherwise they will interrupt me getting through the door. Oh. You've got a little pet. Too late. The dog has been slain. His soul fed to the Reaver. The Soul Reaver. 2. There's only room for one dog in this Pepsi, indeed. So, recently I've been playing Balan Wonderworld. I should say replaying, because I played it many moons ago. And call me crazy, but I think Balan and this game have a lot in common in that they both kind of got this like unfinished energy to them. Like, the fact that you can just walk past so many, like, combat encounters in this game, I think is madness. But it does sort of speak to a game that I think, you know, didn't have the development time put into it to ensure that every environment is, you know, that fascinating to navigate through. I love the vibes of the places and you go in this game, and I think the environments are really cool, but they clearly didn't know exactly how they were going to make it that compelling, other than just by scattering a bunch of guys around and hoping that sometimes you bump into them and decide to fight them. Anyway. Ruined time streaming chamber. I do love smattering a bunch of guys around. This is a true fact. But speaking of Pepsi Dog, he has returned. Now, I might shortly end the stream after we get this cutscene.
I had no choice but to act purely on blind faith. There was no way to tell what error this device was tuned to, and I had neither the knowledge nor the means to set the machine myself. I hesitated only briefly. Then, throwing the switch, I hurled myself into oblivion and relinquished my will to the hand of fate.
TARDIS noises. Yes, we'll go back to the save point, and I think we'll end here because there's quite a long dungeon coming up. Kind of 2 quite long dungeons, really. Or well, one quite long and one kind of short, and then we're at the end of the game. I think that'd be a good thing to do tomorrow, maybe. Finish the game.
Beyond all hope and against all probability, it seemed that the device had unerringly delivered me to the era I sought. For these were Sarafan banners, and these vampires apparently the victims of their crusade. The coincidence seemed too convenient to naively ascribe to fate. But whether my opportune arrival had been orchestrated by Mobius or some other influence, I didn't know. If Janos Ordrin still lived, I would find him.
I would find
him.
him.
Of further deception, and resolved to tread carefully.
Raziel and Kane say this so often to themselves, like, oh, we need to be careful, we need to tread carefully, we need to be very careful. But they're not very clear on what it is they need to be careful of. If Jane Austen still lived... Oh, I can't wait for you to see Janos Ordrin. I think you're really going to like him, Rai. He's a very cool character. He's also voiced by René Aubergenois, who is the actor who plays Odo in Deep Space Nine. Yes, Odo indeed. Yeah, Janos is an incredible character. But that. Oh, actually, I could. Can't remember whether I have to go through the village or not. I think I have to go through Ustenheim, so we could probably go a little further than this. I used to enjoy Deep Space Nine, then I remember that Odo is a cop. Yeah, I mean, like, Odo is a cop. And he's also someone who's technically collaborated with, like, a fascist occupation.
Was somehow more chilling. The killing fields of the Sarafan betrayed a kind of orderly ruthlessness. The cold-blooded righteousness of the true believer.
Yeah, now Raziel's starting to get, I don't know, he's starting to think that maybe these vampire hunters, maybe they're not good guys. Do I? Oh, of course, that's how I do it. Shouldn't have switched back into the spirit realm, what am I thinking? This game has so many nasty tricks for you to waste your time. What a crazy combat encounter this is. He's a cop who doesn't really care about the law as much as his sense of order. Yeah, he's kind of like, you know, he has this like this internal sense of like justice and order, which, you know, I don't want to get into spoilers or anything, but plays really well with when you find out like where he's from and like what he is. It's been a great stream, Merle. Don't worry if you're not seen or understood in all queer circles. We've all got your back. Oh, that's very kind of you to say. I need the wind, Reaver. An uphill battle, but more understanding will come. I hope so. I mean, you know, I'm luckily in a position where it doesn't really affect me all that much. I can, you know, I can just turn the computer off. But yeah, it does hurt to see, you know, people, I don't know, dismiss and denigrate people like me, because, you know, I know that there's a lot of people unlike me, that don't have the privilege to sort of just ignore it when it gets too much for them. They don't have the support network I have. They don't have the security in their life that I have. And so yeah, online, hearing that, like, you know, they're treated as like this sort of disgusting, hated minority is like, you know, not nice. You know, a minority of a minority. And that goes for all people of all identities, I mean, minoritized identities. Not just, you know, people like me, but, you know, people who are unlike me as well.
By all that is holy! Here at last, in the flesh, I beheld my former brothers in arms, the warrior priests of the Sarafan Order. Their lives devoted solely to the annihilation of the vampire plague. And while I confess, I felt a twinge of longing, a pang of grief for what I had believed was my lost virtue. I regarded them now with none of the reverence I formerly felt. For I had seen the human face of the vampires, and now I beheld the monstrousness of these men.
Yeah, he's finally seen that his former life as a Sarafan priest may not have been quite as simple as he thought. And yeah, seeing all these vampires butchered, I started to wonder, was Cain really all that bad? Return to hell. Oh god. Right. My blood is blue. Yes, thank you for all your kind messages of support always. You know, not just about gender stuff, but about, you know, my job and that. But yeah, thanks for always, you know, coming to play games with me. I enjoy it a lot. And I hope you all do as well. Here's where I wanted to get to, because I know there's a save point in the church. I'm a blue-blooded femboy. You're stuck with us. Well, I can think of no one else I'd rather be stuck with. Yeah, I'm going to call it here. We'll carry on with this tomorrow, I think. And then yeah, I'll have to figure out what I'm going to stream on Friday and or Saturday. But we'll jump those hurdles when we get to it. I will catch you all later. Bye bye.